Hello and welcome
Fuck
to
you, fucking.
Welcome to a new episode of the Mind Grind podcast. I am your host, Gene Meyer, and today with me is a very special guest, Mr. Bhotey Gore of Chepang.
Hello. How are you?
Hey, what's up? How's it going?
What's good, Papa? What's good? Everything's fucking sick. Good as always.
Yeah, you just got married last week.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, so you're 1 week.
Got married in court last week, but like officially, the cultural marriage happened last year, December. When we went there? No, this year. It was this year. Yeah, this year. Earlier this year in January.
Yes. So for those of you who don't know, Chepang is a band from Nepal / Queens or Brooklyn.
Yeah, I mean, to put it this way, like we are actually a band from Nepal. We just happen to live here.
They're all Nepalese immigrants who met in New York, or did you know each other back in Nepal?
I knew of everyone else in the band because, like, I mean, Chidis and Mount God, they're the legends, anyways. And Govind was like also a really good drummer, so we kind of knew each other. And when we met in New York, we were like, all right, cool, we should do something. So we met here and officially decided to do something here, but we kind of knew of each other.
Excellent. And you are the singer or vocalist.
Yeah. I mean, do you really want to call that singing?
Hey, it's a form of singing, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, the traditional definition of singing doesn't fit. Like, none of that fits. I mean, but like we scream and yell, for sure.
The lead screamer. How's that?
Yeah.
All right, so let's get to know you. So, how did you get into metal in the first place?
Back then I was like really young, like 10, 11 years old, I think. And my brother used to listen to metal because all of his friends were into metal too. And I thought it was like the coolest thing. I mean, looking up your brother, their friends, they were like super cool listening to, like, there's something called death metal. And one of my brother's friend used to do like growling vocals, and he was in a band called Brutal. And I thought that was I thought that was the coolest shit ever. And he played chess and just like listened to death metal. And I was like, what the fuck? That's like a dream of mine. And I started just like listening to the CDs that he would give me. And yeah, I mean, never experienced something like that. Nothing audible, like growling sound. Like, yeah. So the first actual album I listened to was like, I think, Butcher Our Birth.
Oh, by Devourment. Or no.
Cannibal Corpse, yeah. And I mean, imagine listening to that and you're like, what the fuck is this? So like a gay man blast, like fucking deep gutturals, and I'm like, yeah, like that's how I really got into it. Like, what the fuck is this? Like the amount of power and energy, I just immediately felt that. And after that, yeah, rest is fucking history. I mean, I guess.
Oh no, go on.
Yeah, I mean, I guess just because of that too, like some of like the regular metals, I don't like it because I don't feel the same amount of energy and like the intensity as like that how I got into. Like, yeah, there's still some of the bands like Death. Like I never really got into that. I don't know why, but like death metal for me is like that guttural, deep, like yeah. So yeah, which is weird. I mean, there's like still a lot of bands that I don't really get into, like really famous regular bands. It's like the idea for me of death metal became kind of like small window, like a small piece of it. So if it's a really brutal and guttural, something crazy and extreme, then I'll get into it. But like if there's any musicality, if you want to say it, then I kind of don't like it. It needs to be crazy and extreme, like breaking outside the box kind of. If I hear that, I will like. If not, then I'm like, I'm kind of getting bored with this.
So you liked it straight away, as brutal as possible.
Yeah, and that is the thing that really got me into it. That brutalness of it.
Yeah.
And extremity, like it needs to be fucking extreme as fuck.
And is this what led you into grindcore?
Yes. Because at one point, death metal started getting kind of boring. I think around like 2009, 2010, I was like exploring a lot of death metal, and think technical death metal started coming at that point too, and like a lot of deathcore started coming out, and I'm like, this thing is fucking boring. It's like kind of repetitive.
Yeah.
And brutal death metal, I really got into it because it was like getting really extreme. And then when the technical metal came in, I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, I get it. And yeah, I mean, it's weird that way. And like, and when grindcore came in, even like the regular grindcore, initially I didn't like it. I would listen to it, like Lock Up and shit like that. I would listen to it, and I'm like, I get it. Like, you know what I mean? But like, until I listened to Discord and Axis and Curdlink, then I'm like, all right. There's something like batshit craziness behind this shit. And that's how I like really got into it.
Yes. So Discordance Axis was for you like the watershed moment.
Yeah, Discord and Axis and Gridlink. The Immigrindcore Orphan, that album, that completely clicked into me. I mean, like even like Agents of Abhorrence and Triac, like even Warsaw, believe it or not. Not Big Destroyer, fucking Warsaw. That album is fucking really fucking sick. Like, you know, like there was something else behind that shit. So that's what I get stuck to, like stick to, like that. Oh, sorry, grindcore, like the new era of grindcore, I guess.
Interesting. And how did you become a vocalist or start practicing?
Yeah, I mean, when I first started listening to the sound, I wanted to imitate that, and I like the growling started happening. I was like, oh, I could do that shit. So I started practicing that. And I would just be in my living room, do growls. I didn't even do like the screaming part until Chepang, actually. I was only doing the growls for the longest time. And even on the first EP, Latte Jars, there's more growl than screaming. I did the screaming part just for the dynamics part of it. Because like growling was sounding kind of monotone. So I was like, oh, I need more dynamics on it. And then when we started doing live shows and touring, then I realized if you do more screaming, it's more audible.
Yes.
Because like you can't really always match the vocals, like whatever was coming out with, like especially with 2 drums and this rig, like fucking 2 different amps and like fucking 1,000 caps and all that shit. In order to pierce that, growling wasn't enough. So I needed to pierce through that, cut through all of that. That's when I started doing the screaming part.
Yeah, when we first played together, I think it was 2018. Right?
The tour?
The first, like, it was, remember, it was Philly, Virginia, and then
the 3-day tour.
The 3-day tour. You had 2 drummers and 2 vocalists and 1 guitar.
Mountain God used to do vocals because he was doing the supporting vocals. Like, there were a couple of parts that he was doing that I could not imitate because his voice is like very unique, and he had a tone. And I really liked it. And if something happens, my mic doesn't work, like so he would like back me up on it. And then when I started doing like screaming more, then we're like, oh, I kind of don't need it now, because like every time I wanted to take a break from screaming, I would do another type of like variations. So I'm like, all right, so I think I don't need like a backup. So that's when like Mountain God was like, I'm just gonna start playing bass, and he started playing bass then.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, Mountain God hasn't done vocals for like, I don't know, like past 2 albums or 3 albums. He hasn't done vocals. It's like all of them is just like me.
Did he do vocals on Latte Charge?
Yeah, Latte Charge, yeah. The most amount of vocals he did was in Latte Charge. I think he did like 3 or 4 parts. And Dorello, he did a few of them. And Chota, he had the one, and in that one song he did it. And after that, he hasn't done any vocals.
And how did Chepang come into being? How did it come together?
It's a very tricky thing, because I guess, like, you know Sangharsha, right? The band before Chepang. I think Sangharsha got evolved into Chepang technically, because like Chiti's writing has all kind of stayed the same, and the Mountain God was playing drums in Sangharsha, and when Gobind came in, it became faster. So his guitar writing changed, and like we started writing faster songs. But like it's like kind of Sangharsha just evolved into it. And like the older Sangharsha's lyrics, I was like really inspired by that too, because like his lyrical style was like, I was very impressed with it, like how he was writing. It was very poetic. before that, I was like, whatever I wrote was trying to be out. I was trying to be like brutal and death metal kind of lyrics. But when I read that, and I was like, all right, he's being very poetic here. And I really liked it. And it was all in Nepali too. And I was like, all right, this is a really cool style. Haven't heard before like that. Like for me, I think on extreme metal coming from Nepal, he was like one of the best lyricists for me. Because nobody had done that. Nobody would write lyrics in Nepali like that and use that on extreme metal. Nobody had done that before. So and I was like super like intrigued by what he was doing.
The poetic lyrics.
Poetic lyrics, and then how he was using it, and like how he'd find a pocket and scream like certain words. I was like, that thing was something else for me. And like he was like definitely one of the biggest influence for me. And we just like kind of carried what they were doing, but we started doing more and more extreme and crazier and batshit crazier. And then we started experimenting a lot of shit. It was just like progression of that. Because like, I mean, when Modern God and Chili's were doing Sangharsha, I mean, they were still in Chepang. So the ideas were the same. It's the same people giving out ideas. It was still the same perspective. So me and Govind were like learning what they were saying, what they were doing, and we started inputting our ideas on it. So like it was just like an evolution of that.
And I ask this of every musician or artist I have on the podcast, and I think as vocalists we don't get asked this enough. What do you do to practice both lyric writing and the actual vocals?
I spend most of the time on what not to do more than what to do. So sometimes like when it's like everything is going crazy, naturally you want to scream, but like it kind of doesn't fit sometimes. You like when you say something, it will disrupt the music, what they were actually trying to do. So like when to speak, when to say something completely matters. You know what I mean? Like that's why Gridling and Discordant Access is like so effective. But John Chang would go crazy, but he will only do when it's necessary.
Yes.
And then he will say something and bring it to another angle, give a different perspective on it. And like, I think that is what like I think on dwell on the most. I would like for every song I probably have like 20 different versions of it. And I'm like, all right, I should say something on it. I should say something on here, but I should say it this way. Like that's where I dwell in the most. And when that comes in, then I will go and practice and like hear myself how it sounds, it matches, it doesn't match. And then especially like the breathing technique, like if I say something here right after this, do I have enough breath left? So I dwell on like that's what I focused most on. And the practicing, I kind of don't really do it. If you map it out everything correctly, you kind of don't need to that much because you want to go all out. You kind of don't want to sound like you're conserving energy. Then it kind of defeats the purpose, especially for what we do on a grindcore, that craziness. You want to go all out. So it's like mapping out where you want to do something.
And do you write lyrics and then fit it to the song, or do you write the vocal patterns first and then fit the lyrics to it?
I write poems first. Like even if when there's no songs, I'll try to write poems. And when the skeleton song comes out, when like the idea, like the main guitar idea and the main like the drum idea, we call it skeleton part. When the skeleton comes in, then I will try to see where it would match. And like I will only try to match like few verses. And I'm like, all right, this thing fits. Then I will like start writing more on top of the poem that I already wrote. And like elaborate or like say less stuff or like cut it and try to like match the syllables. And like sometimes I'll try to find a synonym for a word which would actually match this. Yeah. So like I'll play around with that or like rephrase something. So like it's like it takes a while. Sometimes it takes like a month, 2 months for like even for just like one song. I'll like sit there and just like think over and over again, over and over again.
And you write entirely in Nepalese?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
And what are the lyrics or subject matter of the songs?
Depends on what the main theme is. Usually the theme of the entire album will be the same because I'll be in that thought process. And sometimes one song becomes two different songs. I'm like, all right, I can use this verse for other songs. So like, I will write a poem for like, I don't know, four different stanzas or 4 different verses, and then I will like, all right, again, I'm only gonna say this one paragraph on this, and the other one I'm gonna use it on the different song. And if I do it like back-to-back songs, then it kind of matches up to now. So like, yeah, it entirely depends on it. But like, so sometimes like when I do hear a song, then something just clicks and I start writing and it matches. And sometimes it also just like comes out with one word just like sticks in my head. And I'll try to elaborate why that one word came in when I listened to that song. And we're just like, and then I'll write the entire thing based on it. That is what I think is the most addicting thing for me for this project. Like just the idea of like sitting here and thinking and trying to make it work somehow.
Yeah. The creative process.
The creative process, yeah. Like that's more than right. Like doing shows, that's what I love the most. Like that thing, I fucking simply love it.
Yeah. How do you prepare for shows? Because you guys are very intense live.
Yeah, we actually don't think of it at all. We try to think as little as possible. Sometimes we'll only practice once, just so that we know we are on the same page and like what we are playing. We have never played the same tempo twice, I guess. We've never played the same set twice, technically. And even if we play the same song, something just comes in. I mean, you've seen us like going on a tour. Like when we are going on a tour, we'll be traveling and then we're like, oh, we should do this. And like while going to a show, we'll come up with an idea and we'll try to not play that. And I'm like, oh, we should do fucking crazy. Like, remember that tour with Decultivate? We were like, oh, let's start breaking all the fucking equipment and like every show we're fucking breaking the drums. Yeah, but that's how it is. And I mean, we don't like kind of pre-plan or choreograph it. We were like, all right, let's just do this today. Like do this today. Oh, can you scream today? Or like, can you play guitar today? And like, you know, I mean, like it's so which is more interesting because then we don't know what's about to happen. So you have to pay attention while generating so much energy. So like you have to be in it. Like if you think this is what I'm gonna do, there's no way. It's too fast to be thinking and doing it at the same time. You just have to be in it to understand and then react. So for that, like, you have to be paying like 100% of the focus. You have to be in it.
So it's very just spontaneous, all
spontaneous
in the moment. I mean, seen you guys. I do remember on that tour towards the end, you would just start breaking the drums and shit. There was a show at St. Vitus that I think you guys were on, and one of you couldn't make it, so you just had Derek do like a noise set.
Yeah.
Right? I think that was with Flying Ludenbachers or something like that.
Oh, that was the first show that Derek played with us, because that was supposed to be like Derek. We invited Derek to play that show. We're like, oh, let's do like a battle set. Yeah. And that's when he did that was the first time we played with Derek. You know, it's just like, like spontaneous thing. Like, oh, you want to do this? Let's do this. We're going to go crazy. Let's go crazy on it. I mean, which is also the reason we generate so much energy, I think. Because like we don't know what's happening. Everyone's going crazy. The only way to match the energy is like go all out. That's what's in our head. And we just constantly every show try to go all out as possible, because there's no right or wrong. I mean, this is our song that we wrote. We're not trying to cover what we're doing. Like that, we know what the general thing we're doing. We try to do that, but like go fucking crazy, like batshit crazy. Who gives a shit, right? I mean, like even for like me, sometimes I will have like 5 or 6 different versions of the lyrics that I wrote, and every show I would try to do one of the other versions that I did. Because like, I mean, it's there. I wrote it. I like it. But like for recording part of me, I might not like it. But like on a live, if I feel it, it works. Like I'm gonna do that thing, and it just comes out, and I do that particular version that I wrote. It always like it makes the whole thing always interesting that way.
So like every show is just unique. Yeah.
I don't think we have ever played the same thing twice ever.
Damn, that's crazy. That's wild, but I mean, that's sort of, is that like the idea behind the band? Is this just spontaneous, creative, instinctual?
I mean, it's not an idea. I think that's who we are. We never actually technically plan for things. Because, like, I mean, we know how to deal with things, and whatever comes in, we'll fucking deal with it. I mean, like, we're kind of like competent enough to deal with it. So, like, why fucking plan too much? And I'm like, all right, whenever it comes in, we'll deal with it. And we don't get me wrong, we do plan. We plan like way too much, way too ahead sometimes. Like, we're like a year, we have like kind of roadmap for a year or 2 years. And this is what we're gonna do. But like small things, like when it comes in, like, why are we stressing about? Like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like, being spontaneous is like living the true self of yourself. I guess you're being honest. You're not trying to be like, you're not trying to imitate an idea of what you think is right. I'm like, you are who you are. Just be that.
That's amazing. Yeah, and I think that shows through in both the live show and like all the music you guys make. It's just, you never know what you're going to get with a Chepang show.
Yeah, and we don't know that either. That's the best part of it. Like, we have no fucking clue what's going to happen.
It's amazing. So switching gears now. So this is a mental health podcast. So I always ask, what does mental health mean to you? Does it influence your art at all? And what do you do to take care of yourself?
I mean, it's very important. Like, I used to overthink it for the longest time now. I mean, I did go through like the very depressive time in my life, because like being an immigrant here, like losing status and then getting back on it and all that shit. Like, how do you survive all that? I went through a lot of that, but later on, especially being in this band, like having a community, having brothers with you, and like all this thought process, I started thinking less of it, and I started becoming more happier. Because, like, I mean, you gotta trust yourself. I mean, it's like, well, if you're always like trying to make yourself better, you're always like learning, you're doing so much work. So like things like, I mean, it's funny because like you put so much effort in this, trying to do something, make something work.
Yeah,
you gotta at least respect that and trust it, and like don't be over critical, don't analyze it too much. Like, just be in it, trust the process, just go at it. Like this whole thing kind of helped me with it. So now I'm like, all right, keep doing what you think is right. And so like the decision that I made yesterday may be wrong, but at least respect it. Like, yeah, there's a lot of things like I did in like 5-6 years ago, or like even for this like Chepang, like all the lyrics I wrote or the songs that I wrote, I might not like it now, but at that point, I can say that honestly, that was the best decision I could take at that moment. With all the knowledge I had, all the skill I had. So at least I gotta respect that. That was the best I could do, right? Like, honestly, then yeah. So now whatever I write today, I am being true to myself and I'm being honest. I'm like, this is the best I could write, right? Then, all right, well, 5 years from now, I have to respect it. So like, you're not like hating yourself. Like, you kind of always have to be at least true to yourself, be honest to yourself, and respect the decisions that you take today. Maybe wrong, right or wrong, maybe you suck, who gives a fuck? Like, that's the best I could do at that point. So, like, more I think like that, like, yeah, I feel like I'm definitely more happier, definitely content, satisfied.
Yeah. So trusting yourself, knowing
yourself, like I try to be a better friend to myself. I mean,
this is all great stuff, man. This is like what I try to tell my clients to do. Trust yourself, be a good friend to yourself, and know that we make decisions with the best knowledge we have at the time, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Myself included, a lot of people get hung up on regret. I regret doing that. I regret not doing that. I should have done this. I shouldn't have done that.
Exactly. And sometimes like seeking validations also plays a major role, because like at one point you seek validation from someone else, and later on you give yourself a room to like find an excuse. I'm like, I did it because of that. I don't do that. I don't seek validation. I'm like, I will do whatever the fuck I want to do. So that way now I can hold myself accountable that I did it solely because of this. There's nothing else involved. It was only just me who made that decision. So like now, stand up for that. Like, fuck it. If you fucked up, who gives a shit? You fucked up. Write notes and move on. It's that simple.
Self-forgiveness, understanding that we're human. We can make mistakes sometimes.
Yeah. Making mistakes happens a lot. Like you'll always fucking make mistakes. Now in the fucking. So what? Why is like making mistake like such a fucking big deal? Don't fuck up too much on it. Like it's okay. Like once you start saying it's okay to make mistake, then the amount of risk you start taking, like it's a quality risk too. I mean, because anything happens from this point, like I have to hold myself accountable, then take risk and don't be fucking stupid. I mean, try to be a better human and then make a mistake. It's fine.
So cool. What you're saying is that like the more self-love you have, the more it allows you to take positive risks.
Yeah. Like more than love, I think it's respect. You gotta respect. I mean, like loving or hating, I think it's like not that kind of emotion, but like more like respect it. That's okay.
Respect ourselves, be a good friend to ourselves, which allows us to take positive risks.
Exactly, because like whoever you were like a year from today, it's technically not you. I mean, you have grown into something else. You have like gathered more experience. You've gathered more knowledge. You have seen more. So like technically, that's not you. You have grown. It's a different version of you. So like, you don't have to love it. Like you can still hate it, but respect it. That's who you were. And if you're absolutely sure that you were being honest at that point, then yeah, you're fucked up. It's okay. I mean, respect that decision you made and then move on. Try not to make that mistake again. If you keep repeating the same mistake, then you're a fucking idiot, I guess. But
well, maybe the way I see it is like sometimes we have to go through a certain amount of pain to make a change.
Yeah,
and
of course.
Sometimes it's a little bit of pain and sometimes it's a whole lot of pain.
Yeah, that's the consequence. I mean, like deal with the consequence. Anything you do there is a consequence of it, and you need to realize there is always consequence of any action you take.
Yeah.
So like, I guess like you analyze the risk. It's like risk management almost only. I mean, like yeah, shit happens, and don't fuck up too much.
Yeah. And what do you do to practice self-respect?
I try to think less of it, and in the head, in my mind, like it's not two different person in here. It's one. I mean, like not like I don't even know how to fucking explain that shit. Like I try to be in one in the head.
Unified.
Like this is me, this is I was taking this thing, try to be like, it's like, oh, I hate myself when you say it. Like I sometimes think like you're thinking about this two different person, like that's like who is saying I hate myself versus who you're hating. It's two different people. Like I try not to do that. It's just like me. Whoever is perceiving this world, my consciousness, whatever it is, it's just like one. I try to be that. That's me. No, that's me. That's it.
So not like disassociate through
exactly
multiple parts of ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. Like what, good or bad, whatever comes in your head, it's just one.
It's one.
That's you. That's one. That's you. And just try to understand that that's it. Nothing else is involved. Like whatever you do in life, it's just you. And try to be that. Be true to yourself. And yeah, it's hard. Sometimes it's fucking hard as fuck. It's very hard. Like, like the regret and remorse, like that. Of course that comes in. Then you're like, all right, you don't need to have that. You're fucked up. What are you going to do? Like, move on.
Do you know the myth of like the two wolves?
No.
There's this Native American story or myth about there's two wolves inside of us. There's like a light wolf and a dark wolf.
Okay.
And the son asks the elder, well, which wolf is more powerful? And the elder says, the wolf that I feed. Right? Which is actually a Napalm Death song, but and I think that's where it comes from. But it's about what parts of ourselves do we feed more? Do we feed that light wolf, which has like our creativity, our kindness, our curiosity, or do we feed the dark wolf, which is more like selfishness, the laziness, the darker aspects of our personality, right? And what's his name? Carl Jung had the light self and the shadow self, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what he's talking about. And what you're talking about is that they're not two separate entities; they're one.
Yeah. So whoever is trying to feed those wolves is you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I'm like. You can separate it as much as you can in the head, but like it's one. Just be in peace. Like try to know. Like that's only one.
Yes.
I mean that's you. That's I. So.
Yes. And it's hard. It's hard for people to understand that we contain multitudes, right?
Yeah.
I think being an artist in the modern world is like, because you have your day job and then at night you're this grindcore extreme metal singer.
Right.
Two very separate worlds. But it's still the same person. It's just different sides of yourself, but it's still one.
Yeah. Yeah. But like, even like that particular thing, right? Because I used to separate that. I was like, I live kind of two different separate lives. Like, professionally, I do something, and like I do, and over the time, I started realizing like whatever I learned from one, I could apply to the other.
Exactly.
And that actually helped me like grow more in my career, and like the other side helped me like grow more on the grind side. Like like especially how we operate our band, right? We all kind of agree with this, and because Chili is like a director of IT, Govind is like the project manager. He's like the head of IT too, and I've been general manager for like 10, 12 years. All of us are in this management side, so we were like, all right, how do we operate the band? Not the creative side, not the playing side. How do we operate this shit? So like once we started applying to this, we became a very efficient band. And like it's one, we can't fight it. Just be that. And like even when we go like on the professional side, like we're very aggressive with our approach. We're very direct, like very efficient sort. We don't like drag things, like to the point, and like that kind of helped. I'm like, it's not too different. It's the same person. I mean, like if you at least realize that, it's like I kind of don't hate my job. It's like it is what it is. Like one fits the other. If we didn't have that job, we would not be able to do this band because like we have this liberty of not compromising just because of this. Because like if we didn't have that job, we would not be able to compromise. So like we can do whatever the fuck we want just because of that. So like we kind of have to be honest. Like you have to realize like this is that's you. That side of you. Don't try to separate. Like it's one. That's just one person. Call it professional or in personal life or whatever it is. Don't separate it. Just it's you. Just there's only one. There's no different two sides. It's just you. You don't have to
the same.
Yeah, you don't have to
working as you are on stage.
Exactly. Like you don't have to hide behind anything. I mean, don't name anything and hide behind that. No, like just face dead on up front. Fuck it. It is who it is. Like it's me, right?
Mm-hmm. So one thing I wanted to ask you, and I think we've gotten into arguments about this before, is you don't believe in genres. Is that correct?
I absolutely don't. I don't get it. I don't get the idea. The more and more I've experienced different bands, I don't get it. I don't understand it at this point. I mean, like and also like there's so many hybrid musics are coming out, so many fusions are coming in. Like it doesn't make sense anymore. Because like if you want to take a definition of what the genre is, like every band in itself is a genre now because they are so unique. I mean, like you don't have to try to put yourself in a box. Like I haven't heard any band like Triac or PLF I mean, like if you say like Nibble Death and Track, they're nothing similar. Like, why do you want to call it grind? Like, I kind of don't get it.
Well,
I mean, like,
here's how I feel. So I agree with the like splitting of hairs and the over genrefying of things, right? But it does help with like describing as like a descriptor, I would say, right? So like
yes,
there's a broad difference between Triac and Napalm Death, but generally they do share certain things because they fall under the same grindcore umbrella.
that I agree. That I agree with, right? But like now, what I see happening is like just because of like, oh, we should be that. Some people will like force on playing a certain aspect of that just so like they can name we are that. And I'm like, it's like I don't know, like I guess punk and D beat. You know what I mean? Like eventually it's like the I don't. It's weird. Like let's say power violence and like like stop and go, stop and go, stop and go.
Yeah.
That idea of stop and go, stop and go. Like if they want to, they were like, oh, we're a power violence. What if they didn't do that stop and go? Are they power violence or not? Like if they play that, do they have to do that stop and go?
I don't think you have to. I think like this is the way I see it. So like with mental health, let's make a comparison here.
Okay.
So with mental health diagnoses, the way I see it is like there's like clusters of symptoms that if taken together can start to form what we conceptualize as like a diagnosis, right?
Right.
So, like lack of motivation, sleeping too much, feelings of hopelessness, like those are the general cluster of depression, let's say.
Okay.
So let's take that comparison and put it to music. So like power violence generally has like very fast parts followed by very slow parts. It has like a punk influence to it and maybe like one or two other genre whatever signifiers. So you don't have to do all of those signifiers, but if you have like a majority of them, generally you would fall under the umbrella of what we know as power violence.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like for me, like let's take grindcore, right? Blast beats, right? That's like a pretty, it's pretty hard to make grindcore without blast beats, right? Short songs, a mix of punk and metal influences. And I would say definitely like a heavy Napalm Death influence at times. You don't have to have all of those, right? You can write grindcore that isn't short songs. I mean, Carcass does it a lot. But if you have like a mix of those, generally you fall under the umbrella of what we call grindcore.
Like with all of those conditions, can you write any of the songs that are not grindcore? Like, can you write with all those conditions? Can you write a death metal song?
I think you could. It would be an interesting challenge, but I think most people would interpret it still as possibly like a grindcore song.
Yeah, I'm like in a broader term, like it's around this side. Yeah, cool. Like for that purpose, if you're using the term genre, then yeah, I get it. I understand. I think that was my understanding of what a genre is too. And now it's like getting too vague sometimes. I'm like, can you though? Can you leave it that genre? Like it could be either way. Like I mean, like.
Well, and then there's this like other concept about like who's in the band and what their like ideas are, right? So like, for example, like Dystopia came up around the same time as a lot of power violence bands and were in that scene. But if you listen to their music, it doesn't really sound like power violence, but they're still kind of lumped in with that scene because that's the scene they came up in.
Right.
So I see this happen a lot with like punk, right? People call the Talking Heads a punk band because they came up in the same, they played CBGBs with like the Ramones and Blondie. But at least for me, I don't listen to that music. I'm like, oh yeah, this is punk rock,
Yeah.
So there's that other factor of just like time and place.
Yeah.
Right? And like, I feel like a lot of bands, especially in grindcore, because a lot of bands will call themselves grind, but don't have the musicianship to play blast beats.
Yeah.
But their logo will look like a grind logo, and their like songs are about certain subject matter and all this shit. And the spirit is there, but the actual music falls short.
Yeah. I mean, like, because in order to identify which are on which side they are, like, I agree with that. But like, once you start getting into the nitty gritty, I'm like, I've heard so many different kind of grind bands that like nothing sounds the same. I'm like, at this point, it doesn't even make sense. Like, that band is like just that band and just that style. Like, if you try to copy it, like, you can get influenced a little bit about it, but like, your band in itself is what a genre is. Like, just,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like,
what genre is Chepang? Well,
I don't know. Like,
you made up your own label, Immigrindcore.
Yeah, that was the label we kind of created, as in like, all right, because we're like, we don't fit in the general idea with the grindcore. We're like, we're gonna call it something different, and it was a funny shit that we did, and it kind of just stuck with us now. I mean, we're like, no, it doesn't fit in anywhere. Sometimes we do shit that not fucking grind, like, it's just not. Yeah. I mean, like, sometimes we do something completely different, crazy. Like last time in Japan, like, some shit doesn't even sound grind. Like, we kind of followed the groove side of it and not the speed and craziness side of it, and it was very intentional. Then I mean, like, it's hard for me to settle with that shit. Once you start getting into the nitty gritty, to identify like which side it is, I get it. I can't just call this heavy metal. This thing. I get it. Like, once you're in it, I'm like, nah, it kind of doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
To identify on a broader scale, yeah, 100%. But like, I'm like, if you say like, oh, this band is like, I don't know, like death metal, cool. I have a certain idea for this. Like, if you say black metal, a certain idea of it, but like, then after one point, I don't know, like, it could be anything. That band sounds so unique in itself. Like, yeah, it's not you can't do justice by labeling something, because like, that is so unique in itself. Like, that's a style of just them. They're the only ones who played that shit.
Well, it's funny because earlier you mentioned Discordance Axis, who I actually I had a dream about them the other night. That's how much of a nerd I am. But I woke up and I feel like they just sort of created a new language.
Yeah.
Not for grindcore, but for music in general. And it's like, you can compare them to other bands, but no one really sounds like that. Especially at the time they came out,
Right. Even like when you say like Discord and Axis and Gridlink, like, they're so unique. I mean, like, it's there is a lot of things that are the same, but there's so many things that are like, they go completely different direction.
Yeah.
So like, again, as an identifier, you can call it grind, but like, now, like, is there a different term for what Discord and Axis plays, and is there a different genre for what Gridlink plays? No, you can't. They're Discord and Axis, and they're Gridlink. Like, that is what I disagree with. Like, some people are like, oh, this genre. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, call it grind. Like,
grind, baby.
The same, yeah.
What does Chepang have planned for the rest of the year?
So we just finished a new album. It's all mixed and mastered. We're working on the artwork. I think this is one of the most craziest shit that we have ever written. We wrote that in 2 weeks. because Chili's was moving to England for good, and that we were planning on writing a record, and he was like, you know what, fuck it, let's just do it. So he wrote, him and Govind like just like fucking head down. They finished like 12, 15 songs in 2 weeks, and we recorded with Kevin again, and so that is in the works. That might be coming out maybe next year. But like this year now, we're playing a tour, going to Europe. It's a short one, like 10, 12 days, something like that. And yeah, there's more things planned in the way. I thought this was gonna be done. Like Chili's kept saying that, oh, this is our final album, last album, like as he always fucking says. I knew something more was gonna come in, but like, cause like now, before Chili's couldn't travel, and for the most part of Chepang, I couldn't travel outside the US too. And now since like Chili's lives in England, and I can travel, like more doors open for us. So we're like, oh shit, we can go anywhere in the world. So we're like, fuck it, let's do it. So yeah, we're gonna be going to, I think there's like a couple of days in England, then Europe, and we're playing a tour in Japan. Like we're like looking the prospect of going to like Indonesia, Malaysia. We're like thinking about all that. I mean, if we want to, we can, but we were also like counting our PTO, how many PTOs we have. I mean, because like Chili's has a lot of PTO. I have like only a limited amount of PTO, so like we're like planning everything around that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, a lot of good things coming out. It's gonna be good. Like especially the new album, because I know like when Japa came in, because it was so tamed, because our focus mostly was on the groove, because we hadn't really done that. Because like before Japa, when we wrote Swato, it was like 49 minutes of grind, right? We went so all out, like the improv over improv, because like I did the entire focus was improv for me. There was no structure. Yeah, all of that was improv, and also there was no lyrics to it too. I just like screamed my guts out for the whole thing. There was no lyrics on it, and we kind of burned out. And then we were like, all right, let's tame it. Like, let's go back to the roots, like, you know, like stick to the groove. So Japo was more for groovy. We were like, all right, let's go back to that side of it. And then something wasn't clicking, because like us being us, we do want to go fucking batshit crazy. And this new album is fucking crazy as fuck. Like shit crazy. Like Govind, his drumming has like peaked at that point. Like I haven't heard anyone play fucking drums like that. Like damn, this album is like, I'm really excited for it. Really, really, really excited. Right. And because I also wanted to really write this time, so I like took like a month or 2 months, and like I'm like really happy with what I wrote to, the lyrics, the poems that I wrote. Like we're all very happy with what we did. So it's very core, one drums, guitar, bass, vocals. That's it. Like, and there are a couple of guest artists. But like going back to the Latte Char's core thing that we did, but like extreme as fuck. This thing is like, oh, I love this shit. The new album, I'm like really excited about that. I'm like, I can't wait for that to come out. And that, between the tours, like, yeah, a lot of good shit coming out. Very excited for that.
I love that every Chepang album is the last Chepang album.
Yeah. He's been saying that since our first EP came out. Yeah. When the first EP came out, Chidis was about to have his daughter, because the daughter wasn't born yet. Mm-hmm. And so he was like, oh, I'm gonna have like 2 kids now. This is my last thing. Like, you know, we're gonna do this one grind record, and this is it. And then another came out, then another came out, then another came out. Like after, I don't know, I think we have like 8 different records by now, like pressed, like between like splits and EPs. I think with 8 or 9 records by now.
I know, and every album he said, this is the last one.
Yeah, I gave up on buying that shit a long time ago. I'm like, I know, because like, I mean, he also says that for like psychological reasons, because like if we know it's the last one, then we will give everything we have, all the ideas. That we're not gonna hold anything in our bank. Like everything we have, everything in our arsenal, we're gonna fucking pour it into it. And we do that. Like, you know, we don't save anything for like the next album. We don't do that shit. Whatever, you know, everything. Try to make it work, everything, and like, this is it. So it's mostly for that reasons we do. But yeah, I don't think Chepang is done. But we cannot stay without doing shit. I mean, like, TVs cannot stay without writing a song. Like, it's like all of us, like, we cannot just like stay still. We always have to be working on something. Like, I know we don't play shows at all. Yeah, we don't play that many shows. Also because like we're kind of getting mentally ready with like what's next. What's next?
Yeah. Well, excellent. This has been great. Where can people find you in Chepang?
I mean, Instagram, I guess. I mean, I don't even know who has next. I think she's the only one who uses it for Instagram. But like, yeah, on Bandcamp, follow Instagram page. We're there. I think we have a couple of shows coming in. Actually, we're playing Breakfast. Is that what it is in Philly? It's a POC fronted show, something like that. Like
playing that. That's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, we're playing that. There are a couple of other shows coming in. We have the dates. I don't know the details for that, but yeah, 3 or 4 shows coming in. Mo is playing guitar. Mo from Vixen Mall.
Yeah.
So he's playing guitar because he also works in the studio, Hyper Ballad. So that's where I record my vocals now because it's easier. It's right there, so I can take my time. There's no rush. So and he's a brilliant fucking guitarist, and he also plays bass and liturgy now. So great musician. So he's gonna be anytime we play a show, he plays guitar. Yeah, I mean, great shit. A lot of great shit coming in. It just we're fucking lazy. We don't want to play too many shows.
Yeah, I know that feeling. I know.
Yeah. Like do like what?
I was gonna say, well, thank you. This has been wonderful. Follow Bhotey at Bhotey Gore, right? Bhotey. And yeah, listen to Chepang if you don't already. If you do already, listen to more, right? Yeah. And keep supporting the podcast.
Oh, thanks so much. Thank you so much for having me. You're a good friend. Thank you.
Take care, everyone.
All right.